Hey, boss. Hey, how are you today? It's your girl, LaShonda Henry here, aka Sister Sense, as we are sliding on into a new decade, a new year. What I want to do is jump on here so that I can talk to you about 3 ways that you can connect more and convert more customers this year. Okay. Today's actually Wednesday. I don't know when you're going to watch this, but for me, today's Wednesdays, and today I do my clarity calls with clients. So I wanted to kind of pull in some of those conversations into your webiverse, so I can share some recommendations with you. Okay. So if that is all good, of course, feel free to just say hey to me and let me know who you are and where you're coming in from. And if you're catching me on the replay side, always remember to drop into the comment box, hashtag replays rock. So here's the deal. There are a couple of things that you can do to actually reach people online. I know that it's virtual and sometimes we think that it needs to be overly technical, right? I need to do this tool, use this technique. And if I do these things correctly, things will just fall into place. Sometimes we forget that on the other side of that computer screen, there are actually other humans. So if you want to convert and connect more, you got to talk to people more like a human being. Okay. So, with that said, I want you to think about 3 things that you can potentially do around this conversation. First is prep work. So, let me ask you a question. Do you have an upcoming event, like a virtual event or an in person event? Every year, I kick off the year with my Fire Start Your Year workshop. It's a 3-day workshop here in North Carolina and a 1-day webinar for those people who can't make it out in person. And you can learn more about that over at firestartyouryear.com. Now, there are a lot of different things that I do to create prep experiences for my clients. And one of them is actually something that I recently shared. It's a self-assessment. So it's called Position to Profit Self-Assessment. So you can ask yourself really quickly 20 questions to gain some clarity around things that you need to do to fire start your year. And if you're like, yes, I need to do this, and this, then my hope is that you'll participate in the Fire Start Your Year experience. Okay, so that's prep work. That is actually a 20 question PDF people can download and they can work through. So if you've got something coming up that you want people to participate in, how are you giving them a sense of what that particular thing is going to be about, what it entails, what kind of results they're going to get, what can they expect? Now, my self-assessment has been very helpful and valuable because quite a few of the ladies in my circle have been telling me, what they've been thinking about as far as the new year and that self-assessment. Side note, you can actually download it absolutely free over at sistersense.com/PTP 2020. It's called Position to Profit. So it's PTP 2020. Okay. www.sistersense.com/PTP 2020. So, it's interesting because as I share that with you, I'm thinking about one particular lady in my circle, love her to pieces, and she's participating this year. And she's like, I really enjoyed that assessment because not only did it help me get clear about what I need to do, I got a better sense as far as what you are going to do, what I can expect inside of your workshop. Right? So that's pre-prep work. Another example, similar but different, not in addition to the webinar that I have for the Fire Start Your Year, I also have the weekend workshop that's 3 days, right? Told you about that. So one of the things that I like to do before the workshop actually happens is I've started to send out an audio message to my attendees and say, okay, here's what you can do to prepare for our workshop. Here's what you can expect. And ladies have been telling me that they absolutely love that pre-prep work because it just kind of gets them in the right headspace and they don't feel like they're coming and they're like, oh, I don't know what we're going to do this weekend. They've got a little bit of preparation. I also like to give ladies an opportunity to get on a one-on-one call with me, whether it be after the workshop or before, because again, that pre-prep work helps to create deeper connections and again, improve your conversions. So that's one thing for you to consider. What are you working on? What are you releasing in the next few weeks at the beginning of the month for this particular quarter, this month? And what kind of pre-prep work can you create to and connect to your actual offer to give people a better sense of what to expect. Okay. It's funny because I was actually recently listening to this really great fellow entrepreneur. And she said, you know what, when people come into my programs, I don't want them to be unaware or like completely like, oh my God, what are we doing? She's like, I want them to already have experienced some of the things that I talk about and teach. I want them to know my terms because they've been watching me and they've been learning from me even before they get into the program. And I thought that was such a powerful message because a lot of times people will say to me, but I've already said that. How can I sell that and now have them hear the same thing coming into my program? And, you want people to have some education and experience about the kind of things that you teach, how the processes that you've developed. You don't want them to be completely a complete newbie, right? And you can expand and elaborate when they come in. Right. It's not like, oh my God, I said something and they heard that before. How can I say the same thing? Real talk. Sometimes people have to hear you say the same thing multiple times before it really sits in and registers as far as what they need to hear and what they need to do next to get clear. Okay. So that's number one, prep work. Okay. Number two, the next thing that I want to share with you is being in a space where you can give people examples. You want to connect and you want to convert more people. Give them examples of what you do and how you work with others. So I said to you, today is Wednesday, as far as me doing this particular live web class with you guys. And today I actually had my clarity calls, the first one of the decade, the first one of the year, with one of my wonderful, wonderful clients, Miss Camille McKenzie. She's a transformational life coach and her website is CamilleInspires.com. So we had a really powerful clarity session because she asked me questions about, how I structure my day. When I started out in business, how did I figure out how to create my best offers? And, do I always feel emotionally excited about what I'm doing? Or are there times when I feel depleted? And how do I manage that? How do I balance? Because she said, I know that you're a mommy. I know you've got your hubby. How do you balance, the babies and the business? All of these really wonderful questions. And so we had a great session. It was 60 minutes, after which I said, please, 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 I would love to be able to share this with my audience. Can you give me permission to, because I always give my clients the replays, right? And I never share those replays with anybody. Right. This is the first time ever, I guess, new decade, new things, right? The first time ever I've said, can I share this session? And she said, absolutely. Right. And so this is important because you want to, whatever it is that you're trying to do online, especially if you're like me and you're trying to create information, you're trying to motivate people, you're trying to get more customers, more coaching clients, more consulting clients. You want to be able to give people examples of what you do for others so they can see themselves in that space and go, oh, I kind of like that. I want to see if she could do that for me, right? And so, number one, off the bat, just being able to actually listen to a real session that I've done with a real client, gain value from that. You could just walk away and be like, oh my God, I got some great values. This is great motivation. I'm glad that I was able to listen and find out how you structured your day, all that good stuff, right? That's great. But if you go, oh, this is what a clarity call with LaShonda is like, I want to actually schedule one, that's another thing, right? So one way that you can create deeper connections and convert more people is to give them examples of your work and show them, let them experience what that's like. I always say, give people an opportunity to try before they buy, right? So listening to that session is something that you can do. I'm actually in the process of uploading that audio as a video to my YouTube. You can find me on YouTube, L. Henry or LaShonda Henry. Just search for me. You'll find me and you can see the video there. It's with myself and Camille, and we're talking about, things that you can do to structure your day and create your best offers, things that you can do to really kick off this year. And you can also find the audio on iTunes. If you look for me on itunes.sistasense.com, that's one of the latest podcast episodes that I've done there. So that's just a side note if you want to actually listen to it, whether it be the audio version or the video version. But the most important thing that I want to share with you here is that if you are doing things for others, then you're trying to get other people to get on board and get excited about working with you, giving them real examples of what you do is a great way to connect and convert. Okay. And by the way, inside of that audio, several times I talked about different resources and things of that nature. In the podcast itself, I said, well, look, if you want to get a call with me, similar to what I'm doing with Camille, what we're talking about today, you can always go over to callme.sistasense.com to schedule a session, right? So, I mean, it's not going to be for everybody, but if for people who go, oh, I really like what you've got to say here, I would love to schedule a clarity call. Where do I go to do that? I've clearly said go to callme.sistasense.com or email sistasense@gmail.com if you want to check in with me, right? So giving people examples, that's something that you need to consider doing as well. That's number 2. Last thing that I'm going to say to you, because I'm just going to give you 3 today and then walk away. Okay. I'm a visual girl, so I like to give examples. I have a new program. It's called DDIP, the Dominate Daily Implementation Program. When it comes to the new year, one of the things that I know that you need to do is you need to get better with consistency, and you need to get better with doing a little bit in your business on a day-to-day basis so that you can really hit and reach those bigger goals. So I created Dominate Daily, the implementation program, because I want to give you little action steps that you can do on a daily basis to implement. And it doesn't mean that every single day you got to do something that I'm telling you or recommending that you do. It means that if you feel like you need some direction today, you need an action step, you need to feel accomplished, you need to create more, you need to work on your strategy and intention every day for literally 365 days, I'm there for you. I got you. I'm sharing these things with you, right? And that, by the way, if you're curious, is over at www.sistasense.com/DDIP, which stands for the Dominate Daily Implementation Program. Okay. Now, I say that to say this. There are people who off the bat watched the video, heard me talk about it, saw the program, said, oh my gosh, it's right now, it's at a great rate. I want it not now. And they opted in, right? And then there are people who said, I'm not sure about it. And they need me to send them several messages, right? So one of the things that you need to think about when it comes to connecting and converting, and it's just not a one and done, right? Oh, I sent out an email, I did a video, I'm done. If you want people to gradually and consistently connect and convert and come into whatever program or offer, you got to be consistent about the conversation, right? The other thing to consider is that not everybody is just going to see that sales page, watch that video, hear that, spiel and go, I'm ready, right? More things are required when it comes to different types of people. One thing that you can do is you can give people an opportunity to try what you've got, right? So you can do, like I said, you can give them pre-prep work, number 1. Number 2, you can give them examples. And then number 3, you can give them trials. So literally, if you were to go over to www.sistasense.com/DDIP, one of the things that you'll be able to see over there is actually you can download different action days. So I've given you at least 2 action because every day I give you like an action activity. They're short. And then some days I might give you a video. Some days I might give you something to download. Some days I might give you an audio to listen to. And again, even those are short. When I say short, I mean like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, no more than 10 minutes, because really it's just about me motivating you to take action and do something strategically in your business that's going to help you with impacting more, influencing more, and working on generating more income, right? So it's not about you sitting and watching me for like 3 hours, really short 3-minute, 5-minute action orientated items, right? So I say that to say this, for some people, again, they immediately see it, they know they want it, and they're already in. And for other people, they need me to say it and talk about it for a little bit more for them to kind of get excited about coming in. They need to learn more. They need to hear it more. That repetition is important. And then for other people, they need to try it. They need to be able to see, oh, okay, this is what she's doing on day number 2. Oh, okay, here's an activity that she shared on day number 6. I can do this. I kind of like this. Okay, she's giving me some tangible examples of what to expect inside of this program. Yes, I'm going to sign up. So tangible examples through trials, examples, like I said, giving people an opportunity to see what you're doing for other people, giving people an opportunity to number to do the post, or number one, I think I said do the post work, the prep work, giving them some things that they can do now before they even get into whatever training or course or program you have. Those are some things that you can potentially consider. Okay. So I've given you 3 things to try today. Whether you're watching live or via the replays, feel free to drop into the comment box and let me know which of any of these 3 resonated with you. If based on what it is that you're trying to offer in the next couple of weeks during this quarter, you decide that you want to create some sort of post prep work, right? Things that they can do, whether it be an audio, something they can download, whether you decide to give them real examples of what you've done for others, or something they can try and say, hey, this is literally something that I'm giving you inside the program, and you're going to get it now for free. You get more of this once you actually opt in. Those are some things for you to consider. Those are some things I want you to think about, and feel free to drop into the comment box and let me know which of any of these are of interest to you. And if you have any other questions when it comes to creating your offers, structuring your day, building your best business, feel free to drop those into the comment box or email me at sistasense@gmail.com. So before I go, I just want to let you know that right now, my goal is to help you to fire start your year and get crystal clear about doing your best and building your best. So number one, you can go to firestartyouryear.com so that you can participate in either the webinar workshop or get one of my last seats to come out and work with me as part of the North Carolina experience. Number 2, you can schedule a call with me over at callme.sistasense.com. Number 3, you can listen over at itunes.sistasense.com if you would like to do so, versus listening to me on YouTube under LaShonda Henry, L. Henry. Either way, you'll find me there. And of course, as always, I'll be jumping on here to help you get clear. I can't say that I'm going to do that every day, but in between that, every single day, I will be sharing action items around monetization, marketing, and sales, productivity, clarity, and more inside of DDIP Dominate Daily, the implementation program over at sistasense.com/DDIP. So those are some of the resources that I wanted to share. Again, check in with me. Let me know what you've learned here. And of course, if you do have any questions for your next best step, shoot those over to me as well, and I'll do my best to point you in the right direction. All righty, my dears. Until next time, take care. Mwah.